Hi guys, and welcome to another episode on the JST Compete podcast. Here we've got Stephen Fawcett, Jack Cornthwaite and myself, Kyle Clark. And today's episode we're going to be talking about the competitive side in the community. So, how are we guys, all right?
Oh, real good.
Good. All right, now on that second take. So, it's all good. Cool. So what we've got here is sort of a question of how we are trying to achieve the community side or the aspects of keeping the community on JST Compete.
It's obviously we've been an online business and like remote coaching, and it's one of the harder things to achieve because obviously in a gym day to day, people seeing each other face to face, and you automatically get that community aspect. But obviously when it's online, a lot of people are sometimes there's only you probably following the program on your own in a gym, or there's maybe one or two of you, but it's kind of either outside of class time or by the side of a class, so it doesn't come as natural at first. But it's important I find important anyway, that JST Compete started as a competitive community. So when we started the program, it came about because every Saturday and every Thursday we'd get like a group of competitors together and we'd train. And then the program was born as something that we'd do in between. Everyone would do individually in between those sessions, and then the Thursday and the Saturday became more of like the days where we'd all get together, no matter what anyone's focus was, and we'd kind of compete and get everyone together basically, and kind of keep a bit of community. So it wasn't just people training on their own in the corner all the time. So it's kind of been important for us from the beginning that we kept that. And it's got to the stage now, kind of 7 or 8 years after kind of starting, that a lot of our time and effort and a lot of our focus are going towards still keeping it. I know it's been hard in the last few months with coronavirus, but we've got plenty of plans to, when we are allowed to be, face to face in a gym, we can get it going again. But simply just things like we got the fitter website is always improving, and we've now got a feature where you can record your results and compare your results against other people. I don't know if the guys that are on the program are fully aware of that yet. It's been quite a new feature in the last 4 or 6 weeks, but you can record your score and that'll link into a leaderboard, and you can throw a like, you can share a comment, a bit like you do on Instagram. And just keep a bit of socializing online there. We've got the community feature in Fitter as well, which is basically just a big group chat at the moment for everyone that's on the same program. And the whiteboard workout is something where everyone on JST Compete will do. We'll put it onto every individual, no matter what level they're at, and it's just one where everyone can just compare the scores and just kind of get that feel that we used to have on a Saturday when we were at JST, getting together, kind of get that feel, but all around the world. And although it feels like years ago since we last had one, the JST training days were always a big hit and great fun to get everyone together and kind of put faces to names that we see on Instagram and on the website, and just kind of go face to face. So we hopefully get plenty more of those, and the launch of Super Saturdays, which I'm sure we'll touch on.
Yeah. On the whiteboard workout sort of note that you went over, obviously, like, this is a workout where everyone's doing, like you said, and whatever that athlete you are, from being at the top to right at the bottom. Personally, for me, it's a great way to see where you are in training, when proving, when you stacked up against a load of other people. I was just wondering what your views are, Jack, what you think about the whiteboard, and obviously you guys program it, and they're always going to wreck you, or that they're just a classic CrossFit workout.
I think like the great, like you just said, you can see where you stack up against other people. If like a weakness of yours has got better, you can compare against your mates, which is always good, especially at the moment when you can't you're not directly going head to head with someone. If someone you've got a mate that lives a couple of hours away, you both put your scores in there, you can compare it against each other a bit more. And I think because it's just that one workout a week, that should be like your main priority of the week workout wise. That should be where you're going all in, you're going to go 110%. So you are getting a true reflection of where you are at. Whereas the workouts during the week, you probably have your foot slightly off the gas, or you're just kind of cruising through workouts, which is perfectly fine, as long as on that Saturday on the whiteboard workout, you drop the hammer and you do push it. Yeah. It's great.
I think it's the accountability, isn't it? It's the accountability of putting your score in front of everyone else, which then when you're doing the workout, like when I do them, that's what I'm thinking, is that my name is going next to this score, and I want to be proud of it when it goes in, and be happy to put that score in, so that when and the feeling, it's like when you're when you do the open or a qualifier, the feeling when you put a score in that you're happy with and it places well, is that's what gets you through the workout. But I think it's also some people might get put off because they might know that this is going to be a crap workout for them, even if they do 110%. And they know that they're going to place bad, so then they might not put the score in. But to me, in training over the years, whenever I've done a workout against Jack or Phil Escobar or Tino or any of the training partners that I've had, the workout that they've beaten me on has always made me more motivated and helped me get better at whatever they've beaten me on for next time, because if it was my full effort and it was their full effort, I've got an exact example of how much better I need to get at that thing to to beat them next time, or if Jack's beating me on that workout, then there might be some other people at a live competition that could also beat me at that workout, and that's always given me better feedback than if I was to beat Jack on a workout, because let's say you win the whiteboard workout, great, you've won it, it's a great feeling, but you've not really learned anything from it other than you're quite good at that workout compared to everyone else. But I've always felt that if I've been beaten on a workout, I take away much more from it for next time, and that's always made me get back into training and train harder on those elements in that workout. So it's not being, it's kind of swallowing your ego a little bit and accepting sometimes that the score you're going to put in is going to be down, probably lower than usual if it's a bad workout for you. But the goal is to, next time something like that comes up, is to climb up the leaderboard.
I think we always see a workout on that whiteboard and think, that's not the one for me. But
that one this week.
You're like, well, God, I'm away this weekend. Yeah. But they're the ones that you really want to just dig deep and go for, really, aren't they? I mean, it's just, like you said, to get that feedback is more important. And I think if a lot of people hear, like you saying that, Steve, or you, Jack, that hopefully they'll be more inclined to think, that is the way to look at it, instead of, let's give that one a miss because I'm shit, but the next one that comes up, I'll full send and get to the top.
Yeah, or even doing it and just not putting the score in because they may be embarrassed. But it's like, what's the worst that happens when you put your score in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing is, no one really cares about your score as such.
No.
You know, people just care about their own score, really.
Yeah.
No one's going to look at, you know, like Danny Boy's score down the road and be like, oh, I did fucking crap on that. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, where am I? Do you know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
you talk about your own score and stuff. So
Yeah, definitely.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that, you know, it's quite good fun when we're writing, me and Jack, like that's the part where we're like, right, how good can we make this whiteboard workout this week? Based off what's been going on in the weeks, there's nothing in it, not really much that clashes. Just like, how can we get a good test that's different to the last few weeks and just keep everyone on the toes a little bit? And it's good just to keep your foot in the water on the competitive, like that competitive edge all year round. Just to kind of keep you tight on everywhere and make sure you're not slacking too much in certain areas, and just keeps you on your toes. Because you don't want, even if you're on a bias program, strength bias, say for example, and it's more of an engine thing that comes up, it's just giving you like a feeler as to where that is at the moment. And if it is mild, like way behind where you're not happy, then it just gives you an indicator as to maybe like, you know, just put a bit more into your condition. Don't have to put loads more, but let's just touch that up a bit so it doesn't fall behind too much. It's just that constant feedback throughout the season, especially now if we've not been able to compare in a competition with each other. It's just a really good way of just keeping on your toes.
The only competition I've got at the moment is trying to do all the intervals without missing one because I'm so fucked. Like 8 intervals, I'm on do 6. God.
But that could be the thing. Like, just another thing is like during the week, it might be better for you to just at the moment do 6 of the 10 intervals, because if you train on your own, because you know you're going to be able to push harder for them 6 intervals. So that's a bit of a side note, but it's a good way to get a little bit more intensity, another day in the week. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Just a side note.
We have the scores now where you can compare. There's usually one thing per day that you can link a score into, whether it's a lift, score, time, whatever. And it's the same kind of principle at the moment. At the moment on Fitter, you're just comparing against other people that are on your program. Very soon you'll be at the whiteboard workout. It'll be able to be written so that everyone within JST will be able to compare. At the moment, we just have that comparison on the Instagram comments. But the day-to-day comments is just something where you can just put your scores in. You can give someone a like, give someone a comment. You know, if anyone's missing that kind of community or that interaction side, then you know it's open there to keep you going. I know I'm a Strava wanker at the moment. A lot of stuff goes on Strava, and someone sends me a kudos, sends me a comment saying that it was a good ride, and just strokes your ego a little bit, doesn't it? It just keeps you going. It's what
definitely,
especially at the moment, it's what we need. It's what you need. And
like, you know, like I or yourselves, I always see people's comments and that, and I read them. So we're gonna see it, and we're always gonna give you you know, a well done or whatever back. So it's not like they're just going nowhere.
Yeah.
So it is good to see like the leaderboards come up and things like that.
Yeah. And then the other thing, I mentioned it before in terms of on the website, what we do is there's the community group. So again, everyone that's in your program that you're comparing your scores against, you can have a chat there, group chat. We often will drop in, give some advice or information, or get some conversation in there. That's kind of taken over our WhatsApp group. It's a bit easier for us to keep it all in one space. I know people say we've got a WhatsApp. We still have that, but it's easy for us that all conversations just in that Fitter, and everything just is held on that website. So yeah, it's good if anyone's got any. I think there's a few in the strength bias. It's quite good. There's quite a good chat going there. There's a few people asking what they do for hand care. You know, what kind of grips do they use, blah, blah, blah. And just advice from other athletes, really, that you would probably get day to day if you saw them in the gym. But you've got athletes that are at a similar level, similar goals. You want the same type of needs from the training. So we just encourage everyone to keep chatting, share any advice, have a little bit, show a moan about how hard something was.
Just that reassurance sometimes, isn't it? That is it just me that feels like, you know, knackered, or is everyone else feeling the same? Like, you know, someone will put in, oh, like, you know, I'm knackered at the moment. How's everyone else feeling? And a few people put in the same.
Oh, few. Yeah, I'm glad you used that exact thing.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, so that's what we do mainly, kind of through the actual online website. How we try and keep it there. And it's just encouraging people to make the most of it, really, because it can be really effective. I thought you had a ghost there in the back. Your door was open.
Creeping past.
Just a couple of people coming in.
Yeah,
I want a little debut. That's all.
Just encouraging that, because it can be very, very effective if everyone, you know, gets into it, and not to be scared just to make a comment, because, you know, no doubt someone else is thinking it. Yeah,
definitely. That's what I always thought when I first started, like putting something on Facebook, you're like, oh, and then everyone's like, you put something on there, you guys will pull it through, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing. You're like, oh yeah. And like you're in your own gym and you're asking people, and they're just looking at you like, what are you going on about? Like, you can refer to that sort of side of the community that are the competitive side, and you get a lot more feedback from them.
Yeah.
I feel like as well, we've got like really good kind of communication like between us coaches and the athletes now. Like it has helped a lot with that. It's like kind of streamline, you know, the avenues that like people can get in contact with us like a bit easier and stuff.
Yeah.
Like how you get like athletes daily, like I'll chip in there, Steve chips in there, Fran's, you know, Fran's doing a lot as well. Again, I know a lot of our athletes will be aware of it, but not everyone. So it's the, you know, the day questions that you maybe ask your coach in the gym, you know, put them on Fitter towards us, you know, ask us them questions as well.
So it is important that if they're like personal or your own trainer related questions, then drop them to our inbox. Kyle's usually the guy that picks them up first. Kyle knows the answer, you're happy, and it's an easy enough question. You get a reply pretty soon. If it's something a bit more complicated and we all need to have a chat about it, then it goes into our little WhatsApp group between us. We have a conversation, and then we get the answer together. And so it'll always be seen, and most questions do a little circle of all of our coaches so that we come up with the right answer and we can get it back. So, and if it's anything more just like group related that you don't necessarily need a coach to answer, and that's where you've got the community group there.
When we sort of touched on, you said about the Super Saturdays. I know you brought this up a little while ago before lockdown. It'd be good just to get a little feel from you guys what you're sort of trying to achieve on that note, and let everyone else sort of who's listening and watching get a good feel of it.
It was just bad timing really. We just kind of got it set up and running, and I think we had 14 or 15 gyms that had applied to run one. And you know, we'd got some designs out, we got some dates ready, and then suddenly it all got locked down. So the main goal is, like I said before, is trying to bring back what we used to have, what Jack used to come to there every Saturday morning. We'd have a group of, you know, as few as 3 or 4 sometimes, but as many as 15 on other times, where every Saturday we'd get together at 10 o'clock. We'd arrive with a coffee or a pre-workout, some form that's just going to get some caffeine flowing. We'd lift heavy, spend 40 odd minutes lifting, a little break, do a bit of skill work or, you know, some gymnastic work, then a little break, and then we'd do a workout. And then if people were feeling good, then we'd do a bit of team fun after it. And it was just like a good few hours of training. It was like to finish off the week well. It was good fun, And it was just, again, somewhere where you could get that little bit of extra intensity out of your training and the competition comparison against, people at a similar level to you. So we were just trying to create that kind of atmosphere like all across the world eventually, but all across different gyms where people are following JST compete, and it's just creating that regular weekly Saturday session where no matter what program you're on, individual, strength bias, engine, whatever, you just get together and you train together, and we always found that was like the little thing each week which helped us all just like move up a step in our training and like the standard that we were at. So yeah, trying to create that in multiple gyms around the world. It's kind of like a training day, but not like 40 people every time. Just more of a regular smaller group thing every Saturday. And personally, I think that like it can be one of the most beneficial like things in your training if you have that on a Saturday, where you know that like I don't know how you feeling, what you're doing, you're just going to turn up with the rest of the guys or girls in the gym, and you're gonna throw it down and give it your all, and recover. You got the next day to rest after it on the Sunday, and just recover, and then you can crack on with your week.
I'll definitely be hosting them down in Deep South if anyone is listening that wants to get in touch. I'm talking South. We're down in the Canterbury of Kent.
All right.
So, again, if anyone is want to get involved, just let us know. The first one, we'll crack on with as soon as we can with obviously the current situation.
Yeah, hopefully we'd have somewhere where everyone in let's just say the UK in the beginning, everywhere has got somewhere that they can get to within 40-45 minutes of travelling. I think going to an hour, you can maybe squeeze an hour, but an hour or more is probably not something you're going to stick to every week. But if it's if it's less than that, then it can be more of a regular thing, and that's what we want. It needs to be like regular, consistent. If you can make it, that is. So hopefully we'll get that up and going again soon, because it's something that I'd love to see groups of athletes getting together and kind of finishing the week off with a bit of a bang. Yeah,
sounds good at that. Looking forward to that, to be honest with you. Hopefully, as soon as we can get it up and running.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're sort of covering that competitive feeling. Anything else you want to sort of add into this? We've gone over to obviously the fitter stage, which is massive for us, obviously, the community. But anything else that we want to touch bases on that you guys are thinking?
No, I don't think so. I think like we've gone through, most aspects that we're trying to do is, to create a good community within JST compete, like athlete to athlete, and coach to athlete as well. Like we know how important it is, because we've done CrossFit for however many years it is now, and that's one of the main reasons why we still do it. It's the main reason why many other people do it as well. So yeah, we know how important it is, and we are trying our best in many different ways to keep that going.
No, it's cool. I think it's just one of those things. Some people are, because they don't know, you don't always know, or you've not always met the other people that are on your program, but they're in the same position as you, and the little nuggets of information or advice, even just from a fellow athlete, they can go a long way. And just having that, like I said, in the back of your mind, if you're recording a score, you're inputting your score, knowing that your score is going to go in against the other guys that you're on your program, it just might help you squeeze out the extra couple of reps or kilos, or knock a bit more time off. I know that's always how I've kind of worked when I know that my score's going in. Gives you that extra little bit of drive to push.
Cool.
Yeah, that are the main things.
Excellent. All right, so we wrap it up there, shall we? I think we've gone over it.
Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Right, guys, thanks for listening on this other episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe on the Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you've enjoyed our faces. Again, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Brilliant. Thank you. See you.
Mm-hmm.